living food, so amazing. Eat life. Hi guys, and welcome to Livelightwel. Today I'm going to talk to you about a whole series I'm going to do on cultured or fermented foods, probiotic foods and drinks. So this is the beginning of my series on healing probiotic, fermented, cultured foods. And the reason why I'm doing it is because I can't sustain Gerson solely due to my lifestyle and needing to work. And I work in 12-hour shifts. So this is one of the foods that I'm going to make, and it's a fermented food. So this is a fermented food that I made recently, and it's rainbow carrots with beets, daikon radish, and a number of different radishes of different colors in it. And I used my own ferment in it, and I mixed in a bit of store-bought ferment. So this is one of the things I'm going to make. Now, the wonderful thing about probiotic foods is that they add cellulose to our diet and make it possible for us to digest cellulose, because that is their main food. Cellulose is the main food of probiotics. That's one of the reasons why you need fiber in your diet. But I'm still juicing. Juicing is separate is not about fiber. Juicing is about filling your body with the nutrients that it needs. So I'm going to do now a combination of Gerson and some of the Hippocrates protocol that's been put forward by Anne Wigmore, and that's using a lot of probiotic foods and drinks. So I'm going to be doing things like kombucha, water kefirs, and fermented foods, fermented potatoes, cassava as in, and all kinds of things. So I'm going to go down this road of exploration, and I invite you to come. And the reason why I want to do that is because they are healing to the body. They help to prevent disease. I believe it was Hippocrates who said that the stomach is the seat of your health. And you know, I'm always going on about the lymphatic system and 70% of the lymphatic system being in your gut. Well, what can happen if your gut bacteria is off is that parasites take over and they begin to nest throughout your entire lymphatic system, which extends into your brain. And this can affect your joints and everything. They start eating into your whole body. And my guess is that disease, and this is based on looking at Gerson, Hippocrates Institute. Some of the people I also watch is, I watch Montreal Healthy Girl, and a lot of other channels. But what I've gathered from all of my research, listening to Andreas Kulker, who deals with the children with autism, is that all disease is caused by heavy metals, parasites, toxins, and mostly a weakened lymphatic system, weakened liver, weakened kidneys. So by cleansing and strengthening the lymphatic system, we are able to allow our body to heal again. And sustaining it with probiotic foods, cultured foods, and drinks is the way to go towards better health. And I'm trying to do that because I'm not able to financially sustain Gerson. And I'm going to continue to do it daily, but not 2 to 3 enemas a day. I just can't manage it with my time schedule. So this is the beginning of my series on healing cultured foods. So let's get started. So I wanted to talk a little bit more about fermented foods or healing cultured foods. I do mention them in my video on antibiotic reactions, and there's going to be an information tag right there for it if you want to go to it. And it talks a lot about prebiotic and probiotic foods and how they heal your gut. Fermented foods are a combination of both. They're the good bacteria that we need for digestion in our stomach, and they're also prebiotic foods, so really fibrous, crunchy kinds of foods like lettuces, cabbage, radish, a lot of cruciferous vegetables, green beans. These kinds of things are the typical things that are in fermented foods. Now, we're not talking about pickled foods, which are completely different. Pickled foods have absolutely no probiotics in them, although they are made with prebiotics. So a pickle, for example, cucumber, is another prebiotic. But there is no there's no gut bacteria in it to assist your body with digestion and enhance the enzymatic functions in your body. So when we ferment foods, they help us to digest the food in a couple of ways. They eat all of the cellulose. That's all the fibrous foods that I described, a lot of the cruciferous and things like radish. That is the food that they eat. That's their prebiotic. And then they assist us in digesting all of the nutrients that we need. We really rely on their assistance in our digestive system. One of the first things they do is they create hydrochloric acid in our stomach. So you don't need to take as many digestive enzymes, and they create the perfect acidity in our stomach that eliminates bad bacteria, things like parasites. And so they give us the right pH balance for our stomach. And then, of course, they assist with enzymatic function. And because our lymphatic system, 70% of it is in our gut and it extends in our brain, this also affects our thought life and our cravings. Probiotics are a great source of vitamin K also, which can often be a concern for people who are doing vegetarian diets. Probiotics are often used for people dealing with gastrointestinal illnesses and autoimmune illnesses because they help your body to deal with candida and yeast overgrowth. Certain of the gut bacteria can withstand a more acidic environment where other bad bacteria can't survive. Probiotics help to convert alcohols and carbohydrates into organic acids. Probiotics also help improve your digestion of starchy foods like grains, pasta, potatoes, meat, protein. So probiotics are what we inherit from our parents, and they live in our digestive tract, and it's their byproducts that create the perfect environment to kill off and ward off bad things like parasites. Whereas digestive enzymes help us to break down the foods that are essential for the nutrition of our body. Digestive enzymes are located in your upper digestive tract, your GI tract. They work throughout the tract and the stomach and the uppermost sections of your gut. And then they help your body to break down nutrients and absorb them. So that's the difference between enzymes and probiotics. When you get an overgrowth of bad bacteria in your stomach, what happens is that it can overrun your lymphatic system, and you can have parasites, bad bacteria, viruses, all of these kinds of things nesting all over your lymphatic system and compromising your immunity. So that's why digestive enzymes and probiotics are so important to the body, and it's so important to ferment your own probiotics, because then you are fermenting good bacteria that is local to the environment that you're in. And so then it can then combat the bad bacteria in the environment that you're in. One of the main things probiotics do is that they enhance your microflora colony in your gut. Another thing that they do is they add a lot of protein to your diet, natural digestible protein, and all of the B vitamins that you need. They also contribute iron. So if anyone's telling you that by being a vegetarian you're not going to get all the protein you need, you're not going to be able to properly digest fiber, or get all your B vitamins, when you have probiotics, fermented foods in your diet, you simply don't need to be concerned about protein and B vitamins. It has the full spectrum of B vitamins and the full spectrum of digestive enzymes. A good article to look at and video to look at I put in my playlist is one by Superfoods for Super Health on probiotics and fermented foods. I've also listed them in the fermented drinks playlist, which I will put my video at the head of, this video and my antibiotic reactions one. And then you can just play all of them to get more well-rounded information, and also to get a peek at some of the things I'm going to try to make. So anyway, those are some of the benefits of probiotics. They also help to prevent scurvy. I believe that traditionally they were used in the Middle East. They are also used in China. They're used in every single culture in the world. And we think we're so privileged because we have refrigeration. Well, because of refrigeration, we don't ferment our foods, which is what people have done for centuries all over the world. And that is what gives you the full spectrum of digestive enzymes and probiotics in your stomach. And as I say in my antibiotic reactions video, from the time you are a child, you inherit all of your gut bacteria from your mother. And when you pass through the birth canal and then when you're breastfed. And they did various experiments, which I mentioned in that video, and I have some links also in that video, where they discuss how giving antibiotics to people causes their gut bacteria to die off, whole colonies of it, and not to be replenished. Because taking probiotics that you can just get in a capsule doesn't allow you to have the full spectrum of probiotics that you would normally have in your stomach as a human being. Whereas naturally fermented foods and drinks generally have the full spectrum, because the pasteurization process, the pickling process, the drying process, and all of the regulations for the Food and Health Administration don't really permit you to have items on the shelf that will, or in a refrigerator, that will be the full spectrum of digestive enzymes that you need. I am going to go on to look more at the Hippocrates diet and Anne Wigmore and some of the people who are proponents of a probiotic and prebiotic based diet to help support my immune system. I'm still going to do Gerson, doing the coffee and the juicing, but I'm going to add this on because my lifestyle is just not affording me the time to do Gerson full time. Even like the most I've been able to do it is for 2 months, and then I'm just doing about 2 a day. And usually you should do it for 3 to 4 months and then reduce yourself to, doing 2 enemas a day and regular juicing. But I find I'm even struggling with that because I sometimes have to work 12 hours a day and I don't know what my schedule is going to be. So, and I'm exploring other options as well. So for me, looking at the Hippocrates diet and Anne Wigmore fermented foods, the raw food diet is going to be something that I need to add on to Gerson. And I don't think that Gerson is sufficient for me. I'm just struggling with budgetary aspects and time. And I'm not in critical enough case where I can say I have cancer or something like that and then get aid from the medical system here in Canada. So, and I don't want to get myself into that kind of a state. That's the only state in which they'll acknowledge that I have an illness. So I think it's better if I just pursue more natural healing modalities and then group them together. So here's actually probiotic. I'm already into it as I'm talking to you. So this is a really good one that I made with cabbage and all kinds of pickles, which I'm going to make down the road. And I did put a bit of kimchi spice in it too. The red peppers. And yeah, I mean, with all of the heat coming from chili peppers, the probiotics are fine with it, but bad bacteria, parasites, hate it. So it's a really wonderful tasting, healthy way to get good digestive enzymes. And there's so many people who are snackers, and it's important to have a full and proper meal. But if you want food that you can eat by hand, like quickly, like fruits or vegetables or whatever, this is something that you can, like I just eat it out of this jar, and it's going to be my objective to go through like hopefully a jar a day, starting with maybe half a jar or something. But it's almost like finger food. It's fast food, actually. It's fast food, healthy fast food. So if you're one of those people who sits in front of your computer all day and writes and edits photos, does research, this is perfect fast food. It's perfect fast food to have in the fridge. And then, of course, you eat it with all of your meals. So my next step is to show you how these wonderful vegetables became this, or something like it. Anyway, thanks again so much for watching. Eat well, eat life. really good. Oh my gosh.